Hello out there. Good morning, traders. It is January 17th, 2024, and welcome to the Apteros Daily Market Insight for the ES. So, taking a look at our recap from yesterday, and then we'll update our levels for the session today. Our recap from yesterday was pretty straightforward. We were fairly neutral across the board because of the acceptance picture whenever I was doing the DMIs early in the session. So, we were kind of looking at this area here whenever I was building out the initial DMIs. And I was saying that this line in the sand right here in the middle was kind of the hinge on the actual trading session. So as we broke down below it, it looked like the bearishness gave us a good opportunity coming down in this neutral area. You could probably get on board with that bearishness rate in this section here. It does not hold for us, and it breaks up to the upside, heading right into our neutral destination up above here. Now, I did mention the DMI that as we got higher into this area, it got more bearish. And that was something that I was monitoring myself during the session there as this market started to come up to the upside, giving me a great opportunity to look short down in this section here, going right back into our line in the sand. And then it became really great with just acceptance, just following the neutral acceptance around these areas. We got to break down to here. We got to break back up to here, break back down to here. Really great opportunities just in between these two neutral areas, being able to play either side of the market in between there. Then in this section here, things got a little bit more difficult in terms of acceptance, right? We started to look for the acceptance picture to the long side all through this section. But as we started to push down below and hold down below underneath this reference, things started to look a little bit more bearish overall. And that's what this particular leg of rhythm really did for us, heading down into our neutral target destination. If you didn't catch this one because of the acceptance picture, perfectly fine because it was murky. But at this point here, you could easily have gotten back on board with some of the shorts heading into the close and the overnight session, just monitoring this as we go. Obviously, we don't trade, these DMIs aren't made for the overnight sessions and so forth, but they still do work. These references, play along for the entirety of the day until I update them. So definitely something, that could have been for people that are trading some weird off hours or something like that, still usable, at that point. So I just want to make that kind of point clear. But overall, it was one of those sessions where, yeah, we may not have had a lot of clarity in the narrative, but our references, whenever it comes to just acceptance, they're second to none. It's a great trading session. So now taking a look at what we got going on today, fairly bearish market overall with our more recent market generated information coming from this line in the sand. So that's going to be our main scenario for the session. Looking at scenario one being bearish below this level here, heading down into this overall neutral destination area would be my main kind of idea for the session. Yes, we are kind of already seeing it, as it's going down here. So if we get a chance, we'll pick it up, as we break to the downside here, maybe get on board with any kind of short-term pullbacks with our intraday tools. But we're really just kind of heading down to that 47.52 zone. From there, it's a lot of open space to the downside. So you probably would be following our dynamic references and trend following during the session if you're an ADRO student. If you're not, this is kind of an area where you'd be trend following if you got below this neutral reference, and then you could follow it to the downside as well. Overall, that's kind of the main scenario that we're seeing right now. If that all fails, we get a really strong rally, we get back up into here. This is a decent opportunity with scenario two, in that we would have a nice lower time frame scalp that we could get on board with, and that would be a decent long opportunity as well with a fresh condition shift for us on a lower time frame. So that would be something that I'd be monitoring there as well. So scenarios one and two definitely are our strongest ideas for the session, and that's what we're going to be monitoring heading into today's open and so forth. Now, once we get up above here, let's say scenario two does play out. This line in the sand is from an upper time frame, and this is kind of the key rejection that we're seeing from the main bullishness, right? So that's what we're really monitoring in general to see the overall context of bearishness right now in the ES. If we get back up there, the idea is that this area might hold heading back down into this line in the sand here, and that would be just a general kind of bearish idea there. It's still bearish all the way up into this section pretty much. So I would be monitoring the bears all the way up into this neutral reference. If we got above this neutral reference, then it'd be a lot more bullish across the board, and we'd be seeing a pretty strong bullish move from the lows that we're currently at now. So that would be kind of a big picture type of trade overall. For me, the whole entire session boils down to this area right here, this line in the sand. Stay bearish below it. I'll take a scalp up to the top here for bullish above it into this destination area for me. And that would be kind of the main ideas for the session. All right, so mind your risk, trade well out there, and let's get after it.